Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gerald Henry, and I'm going to save the introductions for the end of the video. Right now, I just want to jump straight into what the video is about. And what I'm going to be talking about is how we see things versus what God can show us. And I'm going to be reading from my Bible app. So we're going to start by going to Luke chapter 11, verse 33. And it reads, "No one, when he has lit a lamp, puts it in a secret place or under a basket, but on a lampstand, that those who come in may see the light." All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the obvious things out of the way. What is a lamp for? Generally, its purpose is to give its light. So imagine walking into a dark room. What's the first thing you're going to do? Flip on the light switch, right? Otherwise, you're going to be in the darkness, tripping, fumbling around, trying to figure out what's what. So basically, you need the light to see. Now, looking back at Luke 11:33, I'm just going to highlight a certain point. Jesus says, "No one, when he has lit a lamp, puts it in a secret place or under a basket." And I'm going to stop right there. So the question here is, why would Jesus say this? Why would anyone light a lamp and put it in a secret place? So, in plain view, what do we see? All we see is common sense. Why? Well, we went over what a lamp is for. It's for its light, and we need the light to see in darkness. So, why would Jesus say not to put a light or a lamp under a bowl? So, on our own, all we see is common sense. Because in general, no one would put a lamp under a basket or in a secret place. So imagine lighting a lamp and putting it under the bed, or lighting a lamp and putting it in the closet. No matter how we look at it, why would anyone try to hide the light? Now let's take a look at what God can show us. So from here we go to Luke chapter 10, verse 23 and 24. And it reads, "Blessed are the eyes which see the things you see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see what you see and have not seen it." All right, so the question here is, see what? Now, if we break this down, break down the areas I've just read, it reads, "Blessed are the eyes which see the things you see, for many have desired to see what you see." So in general, this verse lets us know that there is more to be seen. Otherwise, why would there be so many desiring to see it? So if we go back to Luke 11:33, "No one, when he has lit a lamp, puts it in a secret place or under a basket." So all we see is common sense. But Luke 10:23-24 tells us that there is more than what we see. So at this point, on our own, all we see is common sense. Even when we looked again, we we can't see we can't see anything other than what we just read, right? So before I go on, I want you to understand that I did not figure this out. All I could see is what you see. No matter how many times I read it, it felt like I was stuck, like I had hit a roadblock. Because every time I read it, it was like reading the same old thing. But I didn't give up. All I could do was believe. And believe what? Deep down, I believed that there was more. I believed that there was more to the story of Jesus, more to who he was, what he did, what he said. So my thinking then was someday I will understand. I didn't I didn't know it then, but looking back now, I didn't realize that I was trying to figure it out myself. I tried to do it on my own. Every time I read, I wanted all the answers, and I wanted it all at once. When I opened my Bible, I was expecting to know it all the first time I read it, right at that moment. And that was back then. Jumping to today, years later, my thinking changed to someday God will help me understand. And I know it sounds frustrating. Trust me, I've been there. All I could really do was hold on to my belief. Having read the Bible an X number of times, I would come to that verse again and again, and I did not understand it. So, like I mentioned, over the years, finally, God began to show me. And to show me what? The truth. And what did God show me? Well, after reading through the Bible many times, I found myself back in the book of Luke. One night, as I was ready for bed, I opened my Bible and I was back at Luke 11:33. But this time I couldn't stop thinking about it. I kept asking Jesus why. In my head, in prayer, I was asking Lord, why would you say this? So deep down, I felt there had to be a reason. It's like, Lord, you said this for a reason, right? But all we see is common sense. But Lord, you said this for a reason. And why? So I just kept asking, right? The thought wouldn't, I was laying there trying to go to sleep. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And in that moment, the Lord showed me that I was reading about myself, which is interesting. And I'm going to show you where he showed me that. At Luke chapter 11, verse 24, it says, "For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see." And stopping right there, the Lord showed me that I was desiring to see, but I could not see. And the Lord showed me that that was me. I was desiring to see, but I couldn't see it. Just like the verse says. And then I notice the verse above it, verse 23. "Blessed are the eyes." Then the Lord showed me that the ability to see is a blessing. And where does that blessing come from? It comes from God. So when the Lord showed me that, I'm going to show you what he showed me in Luke 11:33. So I'm going to read it out again. "No one, when he has lit a lamp, puts it in a secret place or under a basket, but on a lampstand, that those who come in may see the light." So right here, where I was stuck at the beginning of this verse, right? The common sense. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a basket. But the Lord showed me that it was about the light at the end of the sentence, which was amazing because I've never seen it before. I was focused on the front of it, but the answer was actually at the back. So finally, I was starting to see. Not that I saw it on my own, it was the Lord that showed it to me. And from here, he took me over to John chapter 8, verse 12. John chapter 8, verse 12. And it says, "Then Jesus spoke to them again, saying, I am the light of the world." So the Lord showed me that Luke 11:33 is about the light. And John 8:12 says Jesus is that light. But who is Jesus? So from here, the Lord took me over to John chapter 1, verse 14. And it says, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. So the Word became flesh. The Word became Jesus. And Jesus is the light. And what is the Word? The Word is our Bible. So our Bible is Jesus in the flesh, who is the light. So we put all that together, our Bible is the light. And now we plug in that new information in Luke 11:33. Luke 11:33. And Jesus said, no one, when he has lit a lamp, puts it in a secret place or under a basket. So with the new information we got, we see our Bible as the lamp. And when we open it up, it's lighting the lamp. The light is shining out. And the Lord shows us the true meaning of Luke 11:33. And that's compared to what we saw on our own. All we saw was common sense. So the Lord shows us that people open their Bible, which is lighting the lamp. And why would they put it in a secret place? It's because they close their Bible back, whether it's open or closed, they put it away. And where do they put it? They put it in a secret place. They put it under a basket. They put it in the bed, in the closet, on the shelf. Wherever they put it away. And that's why would people do that? The answer to that question is it's really different for everybody. And I've even done it myself at the beginning of my belief. And personally, the reason why I put it away is because I was afraid, right? I was ashamed. And what was I afraid of? I was afraid of what other people thought. I didn't want people to judge me. I didn't want people to hate me. I wanted people to like me. And that it took a while for me to get over that fear. And to be honest, I am still, there is still a little bit of fear there. And I know God will get me through it. So what is my job here? What am I doing with this video? My job is not to help you understand. My job is to help your belief grow. So why is my job not to help you understand? Because that understanding, that ability to see, it's a blessing. That blessing comes from God. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck at the very beginning in common sense. All you're going to see is common sense. It's really not, or other parts of the Bible is not going to make sense. That's all we're going to see. But I'm here to let you know that there is more to be seen. With that being said, it concludes my video. And I want to thank everybody for watching. But before I go, there's a couple of things I wanted to share. Introduction. Again, my name is Gerald Henry. I'm 40 years old. I grew up in Nosh City, New Mexico, which is on the Indian reservation, pretty much the Middle East of the United States. Don't take my word for it. I was saved in 2008. I was baptized in 2009. And since then, I struggled in my faith. I was trying to find my purpose in God's will. Like I said, I put my Bible away because I was afraid. In 2008 to 2023, that's 15 years. 15 years God was working with me. And here I am.